Okay, good evening, everybody. This is Betsy, and I'm speaking to you from Strongsville, Ohio. This is a bit of an experiment tonight. I invited just about everybody I know to be on this call, but it was at a last-minute basis after canceling my live event tonight because I just felt more like reaching the Sedona people, reaching people that maybe couldn't get out tonight, and doing some work that had to do with calming people down from election angst. And of course, my other phone's ringing now. Yeah. So before we begin the full program of this call, I want to take a moment to set up some protection. And okay, I think we're still going. The reason I'm setting up protection is just to help our technology work better, to allow us to have some support from wherever we can get it. So at this point in time, I'm calling in my team of archangels, high-level protectors, my spirit guidance team, and all of those that work with you who are protectors, who have been trained and managed by 100% pure light. And anything that does not qualify is asked not to be in this energy setting. We are creating a room of energy, even though we're separated from one another. We are protected, we are in it, we are a field of connection, community, and healing support from now until the phone call ends. So feel the blanket of goodness around you, and we can begin. Okay, so it looks like a few more have joined us, so I can see some of you. I can't see all of you, and maybe that's okay. If you came on, you might be muted. I have not muted the group at all formally from my end at this time. So you should be able to scroll down to the bottom of the screen and mute yourself or unmute yourself. You can also turn off the camera at the bottom of your screen when you put your cursor over the bottom. So just keep that in mind. If you want me to help do that for you, I'm happy to do that. All right, let's get up into our program now. So I'm hoping you don't need your tissues with you tonight. I don't expect this to be a traumatic call for anybody, but but anybody who's been on social media and on the web and listening to the news has been traumatized the last few days. And you might ask yourself, well, what is this really about? I think we've been ripped from our tribes. And Linda sent me an email today about discovering your tribe. And I thought, we're all out here trying to be our authentic selves. And at the same time, we're looking for an identity as part of a community that accepts us 100% with love. And even with all our quirks and strangeness, they still love us. And how that really applies to our EFT community too, because here we are, we're kind of quirky. We do this strange tapping thing, and it's so easy to be rejected from the world. Yet also we need to be accepted, right? We want to be accepted. That's our birthright. And this past week and all the discussion online, I think there's a lot going on that has to do with where is my tribe, who's talking about me, who's judging me, who am I judging? And anyway, so I think maybe we could start with some tapping right off the bat about whether you've been triggered or not, because we've got some people who just came back from Sedona with us on this call, and I suspect that a lot of healing happened for us that maybe didn't happen for the rest of the world. So let's help everybody. And my intention now is to send the energy of this out to all the people that need it, whether they even know they need it or not. This is not a partisan call. I have dear beloveds on both sides of the political spectrum, I shouldn't say both sides. I would say all sides, because there are so many different sides. We can't call it a two-party system, can we? But it's traumatizing us, and it's triggering us into judgments. Even if we say we're unconditionally loving people, we're finding ourselves suddenly in those judgments. So those of you that know how to tap along the way you know it. Those of you who don't, all you have to do is just kind of tap along, and I'll try to take you through it. It'll be easy. So I'm counting on my students, my level 2 graduates, to really help with this. So I don't know as if maybe I would say use your quiet voices when you tap, so that we're not overwhelming the system with too much voice. I will do the statements, and let's have you tap along with me. Okay? So this is just to get us through this bumpy time of post-election trauma. So even though I feel like I've been judged, and even though I've sent some judgment out as a result of this election, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And even though I've been confused about what the truth really is, and other people have been trying to confuse me about what the truth really is, and the media has confused me about what the truth really is, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And I choose to let go of judgments and confusion. Okay, and let's just start tapping, top of the head. I feel like I've been labeled. I've labeled other people too. I've been dismissed by people that I thought loved me. I've been dismissed by people I thought were part of my tribe. I've been disrespected. Other people might have thought I was disrespectful. I didn't mean any disrespect, but maybe it was taken that way. I wasn't heard. I wanted to say something, but I didn't speak up. I haven't been able to talk about this because it's dangerous. I want people to like me. I want to stay in the tribe. I need people to like me and accept me and respect me. I felt uncomfortable about the choices. I feel a little bit uncomfortable about who I voted for. I felt uncomfortable about who the other people voted for. I played my role, but I was still uncomfortable. I let myself get triggered by stuff other people said and wrote. I judged what other people said and wrote because it bothered me. I remember thinking, who do they think they are? I remember wondering if they were judging me. What would somebody who just met me think of me and my political views? Is it possible to change anybody's mind? It feels impossible to help people believe what I believe. I'm allowing myself to see the bigger picture. Maybe this is all about acceptance. Maybe I need to accept who I am first. It's okay for me to believe what I believe. It's my God-given right to stand up for what I believe is right. I can speak and be respected. I can demand respect when necessary. I act in ways that return respect my direction. I give others the chance to share what they believe. I am willing to accept where they're at right now. I am willing to let them speak about what they believe. We can both be heard without changing our position. Nobody needs to change their position unless they're ready. We are safe. We hold people accountable. We operate in integrity. My tribe's a good tribe. We operate in integrity. We expect honesty. We seek the truth. We look for leaders that walk the walk. We walk the walk. We can do this. We're safe and all is well. All of this is making our world a better place. I'm feeling better already. Yay! Okay. So, how did that feel?
Good. That was good.
I'm glad I recorded that because I don't think I could even remember what I just said, but it felt good. You guys almost got the cat in the picture, but she went running away. So maybe she'll come back. Maybe Violet will be back. So, all right. So a lot of stuff come up. I'm wondering if those of us who were in Sedona, I'm going to call on you guys because you're like tribal leaders now, you know that. Or anybody who wants to say something at this point in time, or to talk about what still needs to be resolved. So that wasn't that what we just did would be called global tapping. That's global. So this is where are you all at? What do we need? I see you, Mary. What do you?
Hi there. Hi. I just got in a couple hours ago, so I'm still processing, but I felt lighter leaving Sedona. I felt like I did a lot of work, even though I only chose one basic issue and worked on it. Two actually. I felt as though it was I went more in depth on those issues, and I certainly learned a lot from you. So, and I love the community. I just love the community of people who are part of the tapping group. So that was really, that was phenomenal for me. And I feel like the changes, I'm feeling like I have to test it out, but I think it's a lasting change. It seems like it took hold.
Uh-huh. So I know we've all encountered different people at home, and I remember, well, Roseanne and I were traveling together. It felt like it got really heavy for a while, and then as I got closer to home, it all resolved. And even today has been a beautiful, beautiful day, like surprisingly beautiful from so much loss of sleep, because I usually sleep so much more, and I can be really challenged when I'm not sleeping. And today's just been delightful and productive and very busy. And so, I mean, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I'm not sure how other people that weren't with us in Sedona, anybody who wasn't in Sedona want to speak up about what life's been like for you in the last week? Because I'm really curious about that. I feel like I was almost in this like light-filled cocoon filled with angels. And, I mean, we were in this garden of delight, weren't we, Mary? Weren't we, Roseanne?
Yeah, we were.
And I feel almost embarrassed to be even in the presence of the others on this call. But I want to serve them. So what are we hearing from people that weren't with us? And what's everybody else going through? Anybody want to share?
Can you
I
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. It's Marcia.
Yay, Marcia. She's a level 1 grad. So welcome. Tell us what's going on with you, Marcia.
Yes. Since the election, I work out at a very diverse gym, and it has been tremendously negative. So much so that I didn't even go this week. I'm going to go tomorrow morning. But it's just the feedback over the election has not been positive at all.
Yeah.
And so that's what's been going on. And then I've been doing much better since the passing of my brother.
Yeah.
So just a couple of those things going on. But I thought of all of you in Sedona, and when I saw that this call was on, I thought, I wanted to hear a little bit about the Sedona trip.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you want to know?
Because the tapping did help. The tapping helped a lot.
Well, being in Sedona, I'm not sure we really needed to tap there. At least I keep forgetting to tap because I was just delighted almost the entire time. So it was giddy good fun, and I think we got to go back there. I know, Marcia, you would love this place because it was like.
I know I would love it.
Well, I chose the theme.
That'll be something.
Little did I
in the future to plan for.
Yeah. So here we were in a secret garden, this little compound that was filled with gardens and waterfalls and flowing rivers and all sorts of pretty plant life and a pool and tons of chairs and tons of tables with umbrellas, and everybody had their own seating area outdoors. And then we had this lovely conference room, and then we were only across the street from the airport vortex trail and about a mile from the main strip where everything, every great restaurant and every attraction that we needed was right there. It was
elaborate more on the vortex trail.
Oh, okay. So, there's several different vortex trail, but our hotel was across from the airport vortex trail. So it was about a 30-minute hike. It was a little bit rocky, but it was manageable. And so in the morning, our breakfast wasn't until 8:30. So it was a real nice time, since we were on Eastern time, to get up early and just go out hiking in the morning. So Roseanne and I headed to the airport the first day and had a very nice hike and got to the vortex and just kind of sat there and met a nice lady to take our picture. It's funny how every time we needed somebody on the trail for something, they would just show up with a camera or a smile or a piece of advice. If you needed to know where things were, you'd suddenly find a resource. So that was cool. Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you for sharing.
The airport vortex, I don't ever feel a whole lot at that one. Bell Rock was what we did in the day. That was really cool. And I see the cat's coming. The cat's on the table here, so let's see what happens. Violet, come here, little one. Come here. Psst, psst. Come on. I think I can get her. Come on. Come here. She's going to make this difficult. All right. Any other questions? Boynton Canyon was really cool too. That's another vortex that we went to. I don't know. Anybody else want to comment? The highlights? Mary met an angel in Whole Foods. Right?
Yeah, this guy came up to us, my friend Lynn and I, in Whole Foods, and he looked right at me and said, "You have such an open heart center. You are so heart centered." And he then he started to talk to us about remaining in love and standing in love no matter what happens. And he stood and talked with us for about an hour. And the more he talked with us, the more we realized he really didn't want anything from us. He wasn't indigent. He wasn't homeless. He wasn't asking for anything. He was just truly there to impart good words and good energy and send love to everybody. And we just happened to be in his path, and he said that we were an answer to his prayer. So that was really cool to be in his presence. And my friend Lynn had quite a connection with him around some things that she discussed with him. And his name was Charles, and Lynn has 3 significant people named Charles in her life. So all of that worked out. But on the last day before we went to catch our plane to drive to Phoenix, we went up to the airport vortex. And I really couldn't even tell where is the vortex. So, I mean, there was a parking area, but we did walk.
Mary, you have to hike to it. You have to hike. You have to get out of your car and hike to the vortex at the airport.
Yeah.
Right. There was a hiking trail, so we did take it. And what we ended up doing, which was the highlight of that little hike, was that there was a medicine wheel back in the woods there. Did you find it?
No.
Back by the cross,
did.
big cross.
No.
That was, and we just happened to be there when a woman who knew the area said, most people don't know about this, but if you just walk over in that cove of trees, there's a medicine wheel, and if you enter from the east and walk around it 3 times and then state your intention. So that was really neat. That was a little highlight for that last day that we were here. Yeah, and I was sorry to leave Sedona. So I wish I didn't have to.
Yeah, I know. It's such a great place to be. But we'll go back, right? And we'll bring new people.
Yes.
Yes. More people need to experience that. It's more than a vacation. It's a soul cleanse, I think, of some sort.
Yes.
Interestingly, we also met somebody named Robert when we went to Boynton, who was with the message of love and sharing love and giving love from your heart. And he gave us each a heart-shaped stone that he had obviously carved out. There were 3 of us. He gave each of us one. And then, of course, my favorite part was Joseph, and who was also talking love and how every story he had turned into loving all of those around us. So definitely the message of love is flowing through that vortex energy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So what can we do to help the rest of the world tonight? I mean, how can we on this call, a small mighty group, I mean, there's going to be a recording from this call. Right now I see there's only 6 of us on the call, and I thought a lot more people were coming. Maybe they had trouble with the connection. Let's see. Karen said something. I can't stand all the, let's see, the racial divide. Seems worse than the 70s. Oh, yeah. And, Roseanne and I were on the shuttle bus coming back from the rental car. You remember that, Roseanne? It just seemed like we had a major frequency shift as we left Sedona, came into Phoenix, and we had a series of unpleasant events, right? We had trouble getting gas. I got approached by a panhandler who looked like maybe he was out of a mental hospital because he was still wearing his hospital bracelet. None of the gas pumps worked at this shady place. And it just seemed like maybe we were going to be robbed or shot or something like that. So we got out of there. But then after we got our gas, we ended up, we have to go to this main rental car turn-in center and take a shuttle to the airport. So we're on the shuttle bus, and these 3 guys sit directly across from us. all of them had the same body shape, which basically was kind of like a pregnant woman, if you could define it, which probably means that they're not into organic, gluten-free, or sustainably made foods. That's just my guess. But see, that sounds judgmental. But then what came out of their mouth was very, very upsetting to us both. Of course, we didn't say anything. We had a Hispanic shuttle bus driver who was delightful, who helped everybody get on, helped move the luggage. And when she got on the PA and announced that we were going to the airport, they immediately made fun of her accent, said that she should be sent back. They were calling her names and being very derogatory. And then they launched into a tirade about black cab drivers and people from Africa. And I don't know, we heard all sorts of stuff come out of them. And I'm thinking, since when is it okay to talk like that in public? Although there were 3 of them, and they probably felt that they were in their tribe and they were very safe. And those women across the way, screw them. So it didn't feel very good at all. And, after this election, I guess those of us who feel that everybody of every color and every gender needs respect felt very we feel disrespected. It has nothing to do with Republican or Democrat. It's about how we view people. That hurt. That really hurt. And then I think that's what gave me the bad headache when we got to the airport. I felt like it was so low. But from there, I think I don't remember encountering anybody else like that the rest of the day. And so got the frequency back up again. But, it doesn't take much to pull us down, right?
Right.
So I don't know. Mary?
It almost makes.
Oh, I want to tell you about a cool experience that Lynn and I had on the plane. We got on the plane and it wasn't full at all, and it was Southwest Airlines, and the man was very funny, the steward, and he started out by saying, "Welcome to Southwest Flight 4621, whatever," and then he said, "Tonight we'll be we're due to take off for Maui." Then he went on to he was darling, but he was delightful. And immediately just before the flight was to begin, there were 3 really, really young children, babies, on the flight, and all 3 started screaming at once. And they weren't just crying, they were screaming, and everybody on the flight was going, "Ugh," like this. So Lynn and I at each other, and we just started tapping, and we didn't say anything, we just started tapping. And those 3 babies, after about 2.5 minutes, I'm sure this had to do with multiple things, maybe food, maybe parent comfort, but we sat there and tapped for probably 5 or 6 minutes, fully, at least 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and those babies were silent for the rest of the flight.
Good. Roseanne, share your story from the
Yeah, I will. I had the opportunity to sit next to a blind woman and her service dog. And as we were getting ready to take off, or starting to take off, I asked her if I was thinking more on the coming down and landing is when it usually bothers my ears. And I said to her, I noticed that the dog was starting to move, because usually service dogs are very quiet. And she was shaking her head. And I said, does the altitude change bother her? And she said, only when we're taking off. And so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and tap. So I started tapping, surrogate tapping, for this beautiful golden lab. And within just a few minutes, she calmed down and laid her head down and went to sleep. And I was so happy that I thought to do that. Then I told her mommy what I had done. I said, she said, thank you. And I thought that was so. Of course, then we got into a conversation about what tapping was. But it was nice to have the opportunity, as you did, Mary, to use what we had learned and see it work.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been that the parents were really doing a good job of calming the children, and it could have been that they had food or something else. But the fact that all 3 of them were screaming from different parts of the
Yeah.
plane, and they all three calmed down.
Because it was your intention to send that energy to them, and they
I was sending,
probably did work. Yeah.
I was just sending calm and love and light, a lot of love, a lot of calming energy and light, and surrounding the parents with, that same kind of light and love and the ability to be calm. And I don't know, I was trying not to, in my head, I was trying to think of all positive. And I don't know what Lenny was doing, but she was right there tapping along, and we just, when the children were safely quiet for at least 3 or 4 minutes, we stopped the tapping and looked over at each other and smiled and enjoyed the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
So
So
that was 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours. So
yeah. Well, those are just examples of how, we can spread peace to the world without really changing anybody's mind or preaching what we believe or anything like that. But, surrogate tapping, like we learned in class, is about letting go of our own agenda, asking for the highest and best for the other, and kind of admitting we don't even know what's highest and best, and asking permission, which you kind of quietly did. And also, if you're sending something that's not debatable, why would they turn that away? They can turn it away energetically if they really don't want it from you. And that's how it works. And the other thing that I suspect happened to both of you is that you and Lynn and Roseanne too, ended up feeling better because you tapped to help somebody. You get the boomerang borrowing benefits, healer's dose of goodness, right?
I turned around and did some writing and found that I was extremely peaceful myself. Instead of being anxious about the long flight ahead of me, I was extremely peaceful because I had just tapped, for that beautiful dog.
So who on the other side of our belief system do we want to send some peaceful thoughts to? I mean, I'm not going to assume anybody's political feelings at this point, although I think a lot of people might find it hard to send their unconditional love to Donald Trump right now. I saw that face, Roseanne.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
However, don't you want your leader to be peaceful and comforted? Don't you want your leader, good or bad, the one that people brought in,
and Congress,
and
all of
Congress
as well?
Yes, and our community leaders, our mayors, our city council people, our boards of directors of the companies that run our system, our schools, our charities, all of them. There's going to be people of all persuasions running the world. And, are we just going to be victims of it, or are we going to send something to them to help them do a good job? And as a result, help us be more of a part of the system. What do you think?
Well, our little angel guy at Whole Foods, Charles, said that I brought that up to him, and when he was talking about stand in love and be present in love and send everyone you meet who crosses your path love. And I looked at him and in a sarcastic and kind of funny way said, even Donald Trump. And he said, most assuredly, he said, if you were to meet him, he said it would be a very difficult challenge to get past your own feelings about him. But he said, if you get past if you can put that to the back or to the side and just send love, he needs it more than anyone right now.
Yes,
so
yeah, he's got to be afraid. He's got to be a scared little boy inside of that. He's not really sure who's on his team right now. So we have to have compassion for him. So why don't we do a round of tapping? Just we'll do surrogate tapping for everyone that commands power, everyone that is a decision maker, everyone who is in a position to contribute to the world that's merging. Let's send them some love. How about that?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay.
All right. Should we clear any reversals before we do that?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
So what might we be reversed on?
Even though I don't believe he has the competency or, something like that,
Yeah. Even though it's hard to trust, let's just keep it generic. Okay. So even though it's hard to trust our leaders,
even
because we don't feel safe right now,
Feel safe right now.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And I offer that same acceptance to the rest of the world.
yes.
Even though I've heard things spoken by leaders that I didn't agree with. And it feels like it's not safe. I honor and love and accept myself. And I offer that same honor to the others. Even though I've jumped into judgment and I haven't felt safe, I offer my love and acceptance to the leaders. Okay, tap the head. Give those leaders what they need. Provide the resources that they need to take care of as many people as possible in a positive way. Provide them with intelligent advisors who have hearts that are loving and open. Provide what is needed to ease fear. Provide what is needed to bring on a feeling of safety. Give them what they need. Give us what we need. Give them what they need. May it help many, millions and millions of people. Lift everybody's standards. Multiply the benefits for one, for communities, for states, for regions, for countries, for our entire planet. Lift the standard, everybody gains. Lift everybody's standard of abundance. Allow our leaders to feel proud of what they've done. Allow us to be proud of what our leaders do. Okay, let's envision. So just bring into your mind a vision of what the new earth looks like for you. And maybe it starts at your home with things going right. Imagine what that feels like. And then just tap on your thymus. Tap it in. What one little change at home could make things safer and more comfortable? Maybe it's something you have to change. I didn't watch the news today, and that made things a little more comfortable. And I danced to some really high frequency music. That made things more comfortable. What could make your your life more abundant and comfortable. So get that in there. And now send some thoughts of abundance and comfort out into the world, out beyond you. Imagine somebody out there that really needs a hug, and send them a thought of unconditional goodness. And maybe imagine yourself coming up to someone in a third world country and looking them in the eye and asking them, what do you need? What can the people on our side of the planet do to help you or to understand you? We can't even help until we understand. So imagine looking into that little face and suddenly, without words, understanding how you can help, how you could speak up to help them, or how you could just surrogate tap for what that is that they need. Yeah. I have a cat climbing up my lap right now. I think everyone needs more kittens, right? Hey. Shall I pull her up? We need kitten therapy? Come here. Come here. She's grabbing on. Let's see. Of course, they don't come when you want them. Come on, kitty. Come here. Let's do some kitten therapy. Come here. Where are you? Oh, there she is. Here. Come on. Come on. Come on up. She's coming. She's on my leg. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I gotcha. I gotcha. There's Kitty. Look. Somebody wiggle their fingers. See if they see it. There's Violet.
No, Violet.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
Hi, Violet.
Oh, she's been busy today. Did you see her latest video? I didn't even know when I was taking it. She would knock my favorite picture off my desk. Fortunately, nothing broke. But anyway, are you making little sounds? Yeah. She's getting very big. She eats like a horse, like a moose.
She's growing. That's
Yeah. See? Look how big. Whoa! Maine Coon. You're going to be a big girl. Yeah. She jumped out the door today. We have to watch the door now because she's always trying to escape. George took the dog for a walk today and didn't take the kitty. And of course she cried and cried and cried at the door. So she's wanting what the dog has now. Yeah, she's a little character. Okay. So any comments or thoughts? We have a few minutes still. We got till 8:30. We don't have to go all the way till 8:30. How can I help those that weren't in?
Maybe she'll be one of those.
What's that?
I was going to say maybe she'll be one of those kitties that'll walk on a leash.
Yeah.
Do you think, Violet?
Yeah, my friend has a harness for her cat and takes it out walking. So I don't know. Cats have their own ideas about walking. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. She is pretty smart. We'll see. Oh, she's having a good time. All right. Well,
To share the gifts.
what's that?
I said, anyone who wasn't in Sedona, it would be nice if we could share that high energy, that sunshine, and that clear, clean energy. So
what was in that? Well, it was dry. I didn't really like that on my skin, but it was sunny. It was clear. The stars were beautiful. The moon was full.
It was peaceful. It was so peaceful.
Yeah.
Everywhere you went, you felt peaceful.
Yeah. Well, there weren't many airplanes going over, an occasional helicopter, right? Back where we were, there was no traffic where our little place was, so that kept it quite quiet until we were dancing the chakra dance, moon dance in the dark, and a car almost hit us. Yeah, that was not expected.
Yeah.
that was wild.
Yeah, that was wild. And then my speaker went rolling down the hill. That was funny. Yeah.
It didn't ruin it though, did it?
No, it's working just fine.
The speaker still worked, didn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we kept dancing after the catastrophe. Yeah. Well, you felt like you were sported, and the pictures. Did you guys see the photos that are coming through? Heather's picture and
Oh,
Kathy's
those
picture.
pictures of the angels.
Yeah, yeah. I hadn't seen those until today on the Facebook page, but that was something. That was truly amazing stuff. And I think Kathy still has some other pictures of some strange things she caught in the sky. So the evidence for us not being alone is still coming through, I would say, and will continue possibly as we look at our photos a little more closely these next few days. There might be more that we missed while we were there. You know, if you're not looking for something, you might not see it in the photos. Yeah, and I'm wearing my new shawl. That was part of my miracles. I didn't buy anything on the whole trip.
That, yeah.
Yeah, and when I was checking out from the hotel, one of my, I guess my manifesting gifts, especially when I'm in my high frequency, I didn't really need anything. I didn't buy anything at the crystal store or the jewelry, and I'm checking out from the B&B, and they were putting out some new items in their gift shop, and I saw this hand woven shawl kind of thing. I'm wearing it right here.
Oh,
it's just gorgeous. Look at this. It has like really
wow.
And and I knew in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I probably can't afford it because it looks like it's hand woven. And I just asked the lady, well, there's no price on it. What's the price? And she said, I don't know. I'll go in the back and check. And then she came back and she said, this just came in, and the guy that handles this hasn't priced it yet. So I'm just gonna say, and I'm holding my breath thinking, oh yeah, why bother? And she said, I think it's about $59. And the manager there said, yeah, it's okay. And I'm like, here you go, put that on my card. And I ran out the door. So I love when that stuff happens. Plus I just feel so good in it. It's my colors, and it's nice and warm for winter. So it's part of the sunshine of Sedona that'll be on my shoulder for a long time to come. Yeah.
Does it have indigo in it?
Well, it's got a little. It's got some. It's got purpley, and then it's got some blues and bright fuchsia pinks. It's got all sorts of. I don't know. The purple, the dark purple, I guess could be called partial indigo, but I like this. I like these pink colors too. So it's my happy place.
Yes.
Yeah. I love when that happens. I almost spent too much money on a necklace. I was so glad I didn't buy it because I just wasn't, I don't know. When you ask the price on something and they tell you a huge amount, you think, oh, I don't need another trinket. But anyway, yeah, good stuff. And I'm still finishing Kathy. What's everybody been reading? What were you? I was reading the rest of Kathy Forty's book, Fractals of God, on the plane coming home. That's one of the most fascinating books I've read in a long time. So I have a feeling somebody might get it at the Indigo Connection holiday book exchange if I can get a hard copy. I've been reading an electronic copy, but I didn't tell you the other news. I don't know if any of you are on Alina Frank and Craig Wiener's email list. There are other AMET EFT trainers, and he's a chiropractor, and she specializes in, sexual trauma and marriage trauma that women have been through. And she was a doula midwife at one time, and she got so involved in women's stories of, sexual pain, sexually related trauma. And I imagine her clients have reacted to a lot of the stories about Trump and women. I might have triggered some people. I know it triggered many people in my community, just seeing what people are putting on Facebook. But anyway, they are launching a new film, and they're doing a fundraising effort right now to get this film off the ground, and they're offering benefits to people that help produce the film. and I saw the package today. It was in my email inbox. And I decided to become a gold sponsor for the film. And part of that will be, my name will be in the movie credits. I'm going to also have free access to all their live trainings in the next year, including matrix reimprinting, which I've wanted to take. Then I'm going to get, I think I get 25 copies of the movie, plus I get a package to help pass the information about the movie on to, organizations and foundations so that the movie gets shared more widely. So anyway, I just wrote a check because I just believe that part of my integrity to EFT and to all of you guys in the community of people who tap is to help others spread the word. That's part of the reason I'm a trainer. That's part of the reason I tap, that I believe in tapping. There's so much evidence now for this simple system to help scores and millions of people. I can't, if you stay quiet and you don't put your money where your beliefs are, I don't think it can change. So anyway, I made the donation online with my credit card. Those two people were on the phone call to me within 10 minutes of my donation. And I was like, oh, Craig and Alina, because they're my friends. They're busy people. I don't hear from them that much. But the fact that they called me immediately, it's also about gratitude. And to know that they appreciated it and that I made their day. And it was a hard thing for me to give that much money up. It's not a tax-free deduction. I'm being a producer of their film. So it's kind of risky. It could go nowhere. If they don't get all the funds together, I don't know as if I get the money back or what happens. But I just decided to do that. So if you guys if you want a share of it too, I think they had as little as $20 you could donate toward the effort. So so if nothing else, at one of our gatherings, I'll be showing the movie. And we'll see what they came up with. But they're smart people, and they're taking some new training in something called meta health. Has anybody heard of meta health?
No.
I think it's mostly in the UK. They're soon going to be trainers in that, and so it may be possible that I can also take that training. Meta health, from what they were telling me, helps to map out in the brain where a trauma happened that codes directly to something that's wrong in your body. So in my case, she told me the story of somebody with breast cancer. They were able to do this meta health evaluation on this person, find the specific trauma connected to the physical problem, and then develop the EFT language and process to clear it. And that is just amazing to me that that's possible. So so anyway, they said that if I wanted them to do a meta health evaluation on my ankle, because I'm still wondering what's up with that they could give me some feedback that would help facilitate, even if I get surgery, help facilitate that it's really like a lasting, stable change to it.
Cool.
So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. We'll see what happens with that. But it was a delightful call with them, and they're worth following. They're very active online in the EFT community, so you might want to seek them out.
Now, are you, when you sponsored that, is part of your that offering, is that meta health thing you can learn from them?
I can possibly do meta health. I know they're going to be teaching matrix re-imprinting before the ASAP conference, and I am going to be speaking at the ASAP conference too. So I was going to San Antonio anyway, so I will be doing the matrix re-imprinting training before the ASAP conference. So that right there is a blessing, because it's less time. It's one trip that I have to make. I get to hang out with them longer. And I have to go anyway. So, but you guys, those of you that get EFT level 2 completed, you can take matrix re-imprinting training. You don't have to be EFT certified to get matrix re-imprinting. So it's just, it's an extension of EFT that is a process for working, especially with trauma. So if you work with with more of the intense trauma or childhood trauma, especially. It's really good for those people that have that tend to have the dissociation from their experience. It's a way of allowing them to dissociate, but still keeping them with you in the field and doing the healing as you keep them safe. And they tap into the field while you're tapping on their fingers to keep them with you. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I've seen demonstrations and I've kind of dabbled in it, but I want to learn it the right way. Yeah.
Now, do they teach it online, or do they come? Do they travel and do the seminars? What happens?
Yes, they travel, and at some point I might sponsor them and bring them here. I also was talking with them about having them come to Lilydale, which again would be very convenient for you.
Yes.
So I have to find out what's going on with my ankle before I start scheduling too much, but it all seems very possible. So that's a good thing. So let's see, I see a question out here. What is the crystal you are holding? This is one of my crystals from Barbara Stone from our Soul Detective work, and I really felt like I needed to hold it tonight on the call. Sometimes it's just for the sake of keeping the technology clean for the webinar. But it's a quartz crystal, but it's a multifaceted, really nice one. So it has a good feel. I also have my amethyst pyramid here, just in case we need both of them. And I lit a candle for you all too, because this is sacred time. Okay, anything else before we go back to our respective worlds? Any other questions that somebody wants to send to the chat quietly or bring up directly?
You'll send us an invite, just like you did tonight, for all of the stuff that we talked about at Sedona, correct?
Right. For we have an 8-week follow-up with our, with our EFT group. And I need you guys to also just surrogately send a lot of love to the people that are coming to take EFT level 1 and level 2 with me this weekend. We've got 6 for level 1 and 4 for level 2, and it may end up being a few more for level 2. I still have room for a few more, so we'll see what happens. But either way, that's a nice little group, and it won't be too many to add, and you guys will have the benefit of their energy. And I believe they'll be great additions to the group. I guess lastly, I will say, practicing EFT and especially pursuing certification, it's really, it's a gesture to the world that you're serious. It's like a college degree. So many people that do alternative work, don't have formal degrees. And even if they have certifications, they don't have certifications that really require, I guess, a standard of excellence. I really feel like EFT as a certification requires a lot of the certification people. And, some get scared about it because it seems like it takes so long, it's going to be rough, and you get evaluated and judged. We were talking about judgment earlier. I want to assure everybody that works with me that my job is not to judge you. It's to hold you to a standard of excellence and to partner with you to get there. And everybody is a different kind of learner, and everybody has their different comfort level with the process. And I know for some people it's a financial thing and a time thing, but I just want to speak from my heart to anybody that's considering certification or who's thinking about working with a practitioner. Those of you on the call that might be looking for practitioners, I'm developing an army of healers. Even if they're not quite certified, they're going to be great healers, and they're looking for people to practice with. So I think this is such a huge opportunity to anybody who hears this call. You've met a few of them on the call today, and I will be screening, cases that come from the outside world saying, who could help me? And maybe they can't afford my rates. And I don't know as if I'm doing that many more private sessions these days, because I'm going to be so involved in the training of practitioners that I really want to focus on that. So I will want to refer clients to the practitioner team. But my commitment is to make sure those people have the very best training, the best resources, access to community, access to learning even after their certification is over, that we all stay together. We are a tribe, and we can all do it a little bit differently, and we just keep multiplying our ability to help the world in any way we can, ways that we can't even envision right now. It's changing, and we got to get on board, even if it requires change on our part. I mean, my business model is basically blowing up right now, and I'm listening for what it needs to be next. But it seems to be this feels right. Might be a lot more webinars like this. I really like real people though, so I won't stop completely. We'll still have the real live stuff. Okay. Well, I think I've held you a little bit too long. So, shall we finish with a heart massage? Can we put our hands over the heart?
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself grounded, sit tall, and say, even though I'm not perfect yet,
No, I'm not perfect yet.
I'm changing the world.
Changing the world.
Even though there are so many things people could judge about me,
Judge about me.
I'm choosing to love and accept myself anyway.
Choosing to love and accept myself anyway.
Even though there's fear in the world and things that scare me, I believe in the power of love and comfort. I'm grateful that I live in a world that's seeking peace. I'm grateful that I have examples of unconditional love showing up in my life.
Unconditional love.
I'm grateful that every time I take care of myself, I'm taking care of the energy of the planet. I'm grateful that every time I take care of the energy of somebody else in a loving way, that I'm healing something inside of me. Let the healing continue.
Let the healing continue.
And let me be a part of it.
Let me be a part of it.
I am grateful. I am safe. I am loved. I am right here. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. I set up the new Facebook page for the practitioners, so you'll see more from me there. And this will be posted on my main Create and Connect Brilliantly page for you guys too. Okay?
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you.
Sign off.
We'll
Thank
talk
you.
soon.